Hey folks, Shambesk here bringing you another audio commentary. Today I'm going to be doing one between Rosian Wook, who's otherwise known as Micheal, used to be in SK, and Space from Team Go. I'm quite a big fan of Space, really. I think he's quite a nice guy, and as you can see, actually, immediately he's going for a tavern build. So this is going to be quite an interesting game already. Whereas Rosian Wook is going for a very standard human build by the looks of things. Human versus undead is not a matchup that it's probably not my best matchup. In fact, it's probably my worst matchup. But I'll still try and impart what knowledge I have. And I saw this was a recommended game, so I decided to take a look at it at least. And yes, as you can see, very centered build from Rosian Wook, the orange human in the 4 o'clock position, and very unusual build here from Space, putting up his Tomb of Relics even before his altar. He'll probably put up his altar right now, I imagine. Sorry, I need to just clear my throat a bit. Yeah, so there goes his altar there, and it looks like Michael will scout this in time at least. And Michael is a player who's known for making a lot of towers, but since this was a recommended replay, I imagine he will either not be going for towers or will be seeing some interesting strategy. And actually, yeah, he's going for the Blood Mage, so an interesting strategy on both sides. Very much looking forward to this. Obviously, Blood Mage not very popular unless you're AKM, and it's fairly useful actually against undead heroes, because you can drain all their mana, and mana is so important for undead heroes, and so it's good early on when they don't have things like statues up, but later on you have to rely more on his skills, and he might go for he's gone for Flame Strike first, so I'm not sure if he'll probably go for Flame Strike and Mana Siphon, which means he won't be able to go for Banish for a while. And Banish is quite good if you're going for Griffins or something like that, but clearly that's not what's happening, at least quite yet. And Ring of Protection, a bad item for him, and Space has picked up the Panda. This is not unheard of, but very uncommon, obviously. And it's just because the Panda is really good against human units because it does so much area of effect damage. It also allows you to very safely go for destroyers, and your opponent can't really go for flying machines because your Panda's a high enough level that you can just take down the flying machines really quickly. And generally, if you go for destroyers, you might have to pick up a Panda later, but it's a very low level, and so it's not very effective. And I think Michael will be creeping here. He's bringing out these militia and some scouting by this goal here, who's already researched backpack. So we might be seeing some aggression from Space. Researching backpack would allow him to get his items up to his hero without his hero having to move back all the time. And level 2 on the Blood Mage already, obviously from the early creeps. These are the militia, but I'm not I think he will get level 3 from this. I'm not quite sure. Space actually goes by the Shadow Priest, but on the last shot it goes down. You saw he brought a ghoul in, which died, and he now Michael does have level 3 on his Blood Mage, which is very good. And actually, Flame Strike works very well against haunted gold mines because you can hit the mine and all 5 acolytes at once. And if they're attacking and they don't see it immediately and pull their acolytes away, you can do a lot of damage to their economy. But it does require for them not really to be paying attention. And really bad item from the Panda. 2 slippers of agility. Really, you'd rather almost anything rather than agility on a Panda. And a Ring of Protection, which is obviously the worst item in its class as well. Whereas Blood Mage has got Mana Stealing, which is a bad item, considering, as you can see, he's gone for Siphon Mana, so he can already steal mana. He might sell this. He buys a Staff of Teleportation, so what he might actually do is he might staff his hero into behind the Ziggurat defense, and could get us around here. No, he doesn't. And but as you can see, Space just losing so much mana off his Panda, always having to run away from the Blood Mage as well. So it's not a great situation to be in at this point. And as you can see, yes, here's the Flame Strike on the mine, and you can, if you hit the ziggurats as well, you can take them out fairly quickly. As you can see, just one flame strike did a fair bit of damage to them, and it looks like he's doing another one to try and chase those ghouls away, and also hitting the two ziggurats again. And if he gets another one off, which he doesn't have the mana for quite yet, no, and he has to TP away because he didn't have the mana. He is actually using his staff of teleportation, so it's quite nice for him because it will allow him to harass and simultaneously creep with these footmen. I'm surprised he didn't use that time to bring in some militia and maybe expo, but it is a bit harder to expo versus a panda because obviously level 2, almost level 3 panda, when you get level 2 breath of fire against towers, that can be quite bad, especially early on when you have lots of militia as well. And he's bringing in the militia now to and it looks like he will be creeping this gold mine. I think it probably would have been better if he had done it while he had all of Space's army distracted in his base. And it looks like Space will actually scout this. That'll be quite good for him because he has enough mana for a couple breath of fires, even with siphon mana off the blood mage, which we are quite likely to see. And we'll see, ring of protection. Wow, really bad items on both sides here. Space actually gets lucky. He sees a militia going in, and so decides to chase it because he knows where that's going. And Micheal's hired some merc, presumably because he's not going to be going tier 2 for a while because he's building an expansion. And there's a tower there, and you'll see one breath of fire takes all these peasants down to half health already. And if he gets off a second one, which he should be able to, avoid the blood mage for long enough. He'll be able to do a lot of damage. He brings in his ghouls now as well. And they're going to be very effective as well. And the flame strike goes up, and you really have to avoid that flame strike. It's very easy to avoid, but if you don't avoid it, you just take so much damage. He's even put up a sentry ward now, so that he can scout all future expansion attempts. But I think he will be able to, if not cancel this, and do a lot of slowing. Some very nice dodging there from Space. You'll notice he sends half his ghouls one way and half his ghouls another sometimes, just to depending on which way is closest and where he wants his schools to be later on. And just so much mana stealing here off the panda that he's now at 0 mana. But this tower hasn't even finished, and this one's at very low health. So the expo has been very much slowed, if not stopped completely. I imagine, if he takes down these two towers, he'll now be pretty much done for. And as you can see, the other sentry ward is gone, and the other is gone in another logical expansion place. So really, Space making the most of his panda, level 4 panda as well, because a panda is so effective in the very earliest seconds of an expansion. Something just died there, I'm not sure what. Because you can take down anything that has to be standing still so easily, things like units that are building buildings. And Zeppelin out here for Micheal, and it looks like he might actually, he's staffing his blood mage to the Zeppelin, and then it's gonna move them behind this mine and try and do some more damage. As you can see, the mine's actually taken a bit of damage and it hasn't been repaired yet. And here comes the Zeppelin here, and no fiends, so no web yet. So this Zeppelin can't go down, and the mine does take a lot more damage, but Micheal moves his blood mage out, possibly just wait for the cooldown to happen, and then he'll come back. Meanwhile, Space has used his time to creep his panda up to almost level 5, and a level 5 panda is so powerful. We do have a first Garg out here, which will be nice against that Zeppelin, and it will mean that he'll probably have to staff. Micheal will probably have to staff home rather than use his Zeppelin, but putting more and more damage on this haunted gold mine, and Space should try and repair it now because it's at very low health. And you'll notice in the time when Flame Strike's cooling down, Micheal just tries and steals some mana, and it looks like this gold mine might actually go down, so that's very nice because it's going to cost him money to rebuild it, and then it's also going to take time when he can't be mining, so that's almost like 1,000 gold that he's going to lose out on in terms of Micheal will mine that faster. But if this does go late game, then it'll sort of almost balance out. I mean, there'll be the cost of rebuilding the haunted gold mine, but he will be mining later than Micheal, and Micheal looks like he's going for an expansion now, but these towers are in an early stage, and level 2 Breath of Fire will be very nice against them. And here we go, will he manage to get all 5? Yeah, he does, that's very nice. And one more Breath of Fire, and that's going to be very effective. And Micheal now running his peons away, he gets some gold and then runs them back to his base, and he's actually cancelled all of the towers that he was building. Meanwhile, he's just shopping now. He's bought an invisibility potion, so he's gonna try and get into the base, maybe kill it while it's rebuilding, but that might be quite tricky. He's going to the lab now. Maybe he's gonna buy another Zeppelin, or maybe he'll buy a Sapper. I don't know. Sappers are very nice against damaged ziggurats because you can take them out very quickly. And obviously, if you don't have the proper food, you can really be set back for a long time. Meanwhile, Micheal seems to have decided he's not going to be able to expand, so he's started his tech. Nothing really being built in his base at the moment. I guess he's just saving up for the future. Meanwhile, Invisible Blood Mage just following around Space's units, trying to get an idea of when Space is going to be gone so that he can attack the base again, because really this is very much a harassment technique.